Uh,
God of
It is
War?
boy.
God of War?
It is. It is a dad without boy.
Yes, this is Data Boy Origins. I made that joke in the video title. Other one.
Yes. You
This
know,
is when
I
Data
really,
Boy was angrier.
I really love whenever there's like,
Ooh, I've
the
acquired the primordial fire.
oof, that's the shit that you used to kill Prometheus in the first game, right?
Second game, and no, this is what he gave to humanity.
But it's the same
Yes.
flame, though, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Was that really the second game? I thought that was the first.
It's the second.
Mhm.
Oh, dang, okay.
I love shields with faces on them. That's why I like Bayonetta
There we
2.
go, boom. All about timing.
Oh, have you played any more of Bayo 3?
Not really. Seriously? I need to get better at the timing.
Yeah, you need that witch time. So I started playing the
I acquired the Light of Dawn. Hmm.
wow. Fancy. What does that do?
No, it's a projectile attack. Boom.
Oh my god. I don't know why, but that makes me think of
This is lightning.
Raw. That old Tumblr post of Raw just throwing the sun. Or was it Horus throwing the sun?
I would not be surprised if this was Raw. Raw would definitely do that.
Yeah. Hell yeah, Phoenix
Woo!
Feather.
Oh, magic! All the time.
Yes. So I've been playing the development version of Ocarina Randomizer because
Oh,
they have
neat, because they added in a bunch of new features, right?
well, they're developing a bunch of new features. Uh, but yeah, and one of which is the key ring, which is all of a particular dungeon's all the dungeon keys, like all of a dungeon's keys are bundled into one single item. So I
So
think
it's
that's
not just
pretty
a way
fun.
to, like... Oh, so it's basically a way to, like, cut out a lot of random box opening.
Yeah, because I love to play Key Sanity, which is basically the keys can be in any location.
Hmm.
Because the default logic is for the keys to still be within their own dungeon,
Okay.
but I like to play with Key Sanity where they can be anywhere. But with the key ring, not only can they be anywhere, but also all of the keys for a particular dungeon are in the same spot, which I think is cool.
Okay.
It
That's
also
convenient.
another thing the developmental version has is it changes the ice arrows into the blue fire arrows to, you know, actually make them useful. It gives them the property of the blue fire, which melts red ice.
Neat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, this game is on the PSP,
Yeah.
which I
And it
have
looks
mentioned to
great.
you. And anybody who's curious, yes, this is a game made for the PSP, runs on the PSP, etc., etc. And it looks like it belongs on like a PlayStation 2.
Yeah. Oh,
Kinda.
hey.
Oh, the God of War games have always looked pretty.
Yeah. Speaking of things looking pretty and running well, um if you're watching this on YouTube, you may notice that I don't have a game going up at the beginning of the week, and that is because I played a game that was not pretty and did not run well and actually caused such a crash that my blue screen of death was green.
Oh, yes, that was what Sonic Forces. Sonic forces you to play through monotonous levels that are 1 minute long each.
I enjoyed the levels. when they actually ran. But yeah, so we got through like 90% of the game when it crashed and all the footage got corrupted.
We did not. We didn't
So
even get halfway.
yes, we did. We were on mission 17.
Really? We were going that fast? Okay.
Yeah, we were on 17 out of 21.
Yeah, fair enough.
Right?
It's about 21 to 25 in that zone.
Yeah. Yeah, we were well over halfway done though.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, so it crashed.
I'm trying to remember which way I'm supposed to go here. I think I go. Oh no, I go
Maybe you
this
have
way.
to
Yeah,
interact
yeah.
with that door.
Yes, this door. So
Uh,
this game runs like insanely well on the PSP, which leads me to
yeah,
want to talk about how great all the God of War games run in any and on any platform.
yeah, they're very well optimized.
The thing about God of War is they're all of Sony exclusives, which, gives them a lot of time to be extra polished. But at the same time, they run insanely well to the point where it's like, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's basically Sony's flagship franchise.
Yeah, because they got rid of all the others.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Universal sold all of them for pennies on the dollar because Universal had no idea how to run a company.
Yeah.
I mean, remember what happened with Spyro?
The one that involves someone getting kidnapped in like Bangkok.
He got abandoned by the company in Taiwan, I believe.
Oh, I thought it was Thailand.
It could be either.
Yeah. Either way, he got abandoned in a foreign country with no way to get home.
Yes, so that story, if I'm recalling correctly, is about a husband and his wife. They did not get along, and what she does is she sends him on a company job to a different part of the world, and then fires him while he's away, so he can't use company money to get back home.
Yeah. It's a pretty shitty move.
I mean, there's shittier moves. There's killing a
Yeah.
person in Taiwan. That would suck.
Yeah. Um.
Anyway, what I want to say is that God of War Ragnarok runs insanely well. Insanely, insanely well. Like, breathtakingly well. And the biggest issue I ran into on
Whoa, what was
launch
that weird flicker?
is that was camera issues.
Okay.
The biggest I ran into on launch is that some of the enemies, and I think this has been patched out.
Were they invisible?
They were invisible. Yes,
How do you keep getting invisible enemies?
this was an issue in Elden Ring.
Elden
Anyway,
Ring.
it's a very short-lived issue. They're only invisible for a period of like 2 seconds before they pop back into reality. Which leads to a funny moment when a wall explodes and an enemy's supposed to come running out. And said, I just thought the wall exploded.
Oh man, I'm imagining it looks like those old Transformers cartoons with the budget of a ham sandwich and some pocket lint.
It's very funny. The game is amazing though, and I'm pretty sure it's already been patched because I have not run
Probably.
into it since launch day.
I would definitely play if I had a PS5.
It's on PS4.
I would
Which
definitely play if I had a
you
PS4.
should come to where I live and play on my PS4.
I would, but I'm not big on travel.
That's fair. Okay, so what you're supposed to do for enemies with shields, you're supposed to use this attack, which I'm very thankful they no longer do in any of the God of War games. It's just this in the first one.
Yeah, the first one was a good.
The first game is still really good. Like they're all really good games. The
Yeah,
first one's probably
we tried to get the first one to run, but it did not run well.
the one that has aged the worst mechanically.
Yeah, but I think it still has the strongest story out of the original, out of the Greek era
Yeah, I
games.
think it's because it stands very much on its own, whereas the other ones get a little lore intensive after a while.
Yeah, like it's very clear the others are like sequels and prequels, whereas the first one it works as a standalone game.
Yeah.
That isn't to say that things relying on that isn't to say sequels and prequels are bad, but what I mean to say is that a sequel or prequel should still be able to stand on its own. Like Wind Waker, for example, fantastic game. It's a sequel to Ocarina of Time, but it still stands very well on its own.
Yep. Which brings me to the topic of Ragnarok, which I do highly recommend. If you ever play Ragnarok, you really do have to play the 2018 game beforehand. They have a recap and everything, so it's like it's not that big a thing. But a lot of the little details and a lot of the references do rely on you having played the other game.
Yeah.
So you can play like God of Ragnarok without knowing about Kratos' siblings, but knowing that adds a lot more to your enjoyment.
Yeah. Um, you know what else is a game that is a really good, like it's a really good. It's good as a sequel and also, what the hell happened
No
there?
idea how I managed that. Anyway, I'm super
I
thankful.
I think when you moved it, like for just an instant, the other one
Yeah,
flashed
fair
and
enough.
hit it.
Because it was still being connected. Oh,
Yeah,
how
with
convenient.
yeah, speedrun strats right there. Um, Another game that's really good and stands on its own is Bayonetta 2. I think Bayonetta 2 stands on its own really well.
Does Bayonetta 3 stand really well on its own, or is it more of a sequel?
It is very clearly a sequel, but that's not necessarily. It's very clearly a sequel. Uh, I can't get into spoilers, but it is absolutely a sequel, and you need to have played at least the first one to
To really appreciate the
yes.
depths of Bayonetta's character growth.
Yes, absolutely. Um, I wish they did more involving the second game, but Loki only gets a mention in the opening, uh, like in the first chapter. He gets like a brief mentioning just to say that he's not going to be in the game
Okay.
because he's off doing something else.
That's fair. I never
That's
liked Loki. And
oh, I loved his design.
I like his design. I just didn't like his character. It was just sort of annoying at a point.
I liked him. I found him charming.
Yeah. There we go.
Nice. Oh, I see.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm guessing you need to get them to.
I know exactly what I need to do.
Yeah, you need to swap those ones. There's a lot of block puzzles in God of War. Are there any block puzzles in Ragnarok?
Very few. A lot of the puzzles are more based around using your elemental abilities to interact with certain objects and adjust the timing of certain materials.
So more of this, the kind of stuff that was in.
The 2018 game.
Yeah,
More, but like better designed, I'd argue.
that's fair.
And don't fix what's not broken, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like if something works, then keep doing it.
Yeah, they even expanded on a lot of the side missions. Side missions are a lot more dense.
Oh, that's nice. I'm always a fan of of things with heavy inside content. That's why I like Majora's Mask, because when you have a lot of good side content, it makes the world feel more like immersive.
Like I don't want to get into any spoilers, but like some of the side content in Ragnarok had me thinking, am I still doing side content? This feels like a main story mission.
Oh man, those are the best kind of side quests.
Because they really do feel necessary to like some of the characters and their and what they're dealing with, you know?
Yeah.
I am missing
Mhm.
something.
Yeah. Hmm.
Hmm.
What about?
Oh, I get it.
Oh, do
I'm
you have to
supposed to
get them to
swap
hit each
the
other?
yeah, the one at the bottom. Gotta make them hit each other. That's what I'm missing.
And they're going across the beams just like in Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
I say Dragon Ball Z because Dragon Ball never had them crossing beams. That wasn't done until the fight against Vegeta.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, because not a lot of characters had beams.
That's fair. It
Uh,
was mostly just
in the
Goku and Piccolo at that point.
well, not even Piccolo. Piccolo didn't have the special beam cannon until Dragon Ball Z in the fight against Raditz.
Oh, okay. There we go. See? Boom.
And now you can use your thing to hit the guy.
Yep. Doom. I just beamed a horse.
Is it dead?
It better hope it
You
is.
know, beaming a dead horse. Uh, oh, nice. It's a laser. You know what my favorite kind of like trope is?
You tell.
Soulnados. Giant ass tornadoes that are made out of souls.
That is a good one, yeah. I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of any specific examples.
Ghostbusters. Mortal
Ghostbusters,
Kombat.
Hercules.
Yeah, Hercules. Well, that was more like a soul whirlpool.
Fair enough, but it's a pretty good one.
Yeah,
What am
it
I doing?
is.
I need to do something. Do I go down here?
Probably it's no. Uh, well, you got that horse. Maybe you got to backtrack now.
I tried backtracking and I sort of got stuck. There's something around here I gotta do. Oh no, oh no, this is an elevator. It goes down.
I would not have gotten that in the slightest.
Yeah, same. They kind of needed to telegraph that more because I thought it was like a
That
laser
is
beam
a nice
switch.
looking. Yeah, that's a nice looking elevator, by the way.
It is very good. It is insanely good how like impressively well this runs on a.
Oh yeah,
Like as I said, the God of War series has always been like the high bar for like visual fidelity.
yeah. I think that the God of War PSP games may have like oversold the PSP's capabilities. Kind of like what Castlevania Circle of the Moon did with the Game Boy Advance. It set the expectations so high that very few things could actually meet it.
Oh yeah, fair enough. To be
Yeah.
fair, the DS was not a great console.
Well, no, Circle of the Moon was Game Boy Advance.
Oh, Game Boy Advance. Oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, yeah. And its music was so good that like there were a lot of games in the future, uh, like had points docked off because their music wasn't as good as Circle of the Moon.
That's
It,
fair.
yeah. I think Metroid Fusion is definitely one of the games that was able to hold a candle to it.
That's
That's because,
that's
you
because
know,
it's a Metroid.
yeah, and Metroid and Castlevania go hand in hand.
That's fair. On the topic of
You,
Castlevania, I am very unhappy there hasn't been like legit news for that in quite a while.
yeah,
Because they hit a really good stride with the Lords of Shadow series, despite how much trouble you had running it.
yeah. You know what game I think it comes the closest to a truly 3D Castlevania game?
That's Dark Souls, right?
Yes, Dark Souls.
That's fair.
Dark Souls is very much what I would expect a 3D Castlevania game to be. I guess Bloodborne would be a little more accurate due to the time period, but uh, God, if they made a Castlevania game that was in the same kind of like ballpark uh as Dark Souls, I think you got to push that.
Yeah, I also gotta like remove the top half.
Ah, you got to take its top off.
Heh. You gotta take the face off.
Face. Ah, you know what? That's a movie we should review for the channel.
I would love to talk about face off. That is a good.
I would too. Let's do it next week.
Okay. I will say
Yeah.
this: if there is one issue I have with face off, it's that it is definitely aged. It's a
Oh
John Woo
yeah.
movie.
Yeah. No, it is. It is completely absurd. The horse rises, Kratos. When all of Athens is in ashes, then you have my permission to die.
So far, I think this is the only game I haven't seen a specific reference to in Ragnarok.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
I
But you're
think.
still playing it, so there could still be a
Oh,
reference.
definitely. Most likely.
Boy,
I
did I
don't
ever
even
tell
think
you
I've.
about that time I had to light 3 horses on fire?
Boy, have I ever told you about the time I fought a basilisk? Wow, a basilisk? Yes, it was kind of embarrassing. I got hit by it multiple times, and I had to jump over its fireball attack.
Boy, did I ever tell you about that time I killed the Titan of Dreams? Oh wait, no, I didn't kill him
Yeah,
because
he
we
doesn't
don't
show
actually
up.
fight in this game.
This is why I always run off the assumption that this game is a hodgepodge of set pieces rather than
Yeah, it definitely. I can definitely see them taking the Transformers 2 approach with it.
yeah. They definitely did that with like Uncharted 3. They wrote the set pieces first, then they wrote the story around it. Which, to be fair, I
Oh,
think Uncharted 3 is an awful story.
gross.
Have you
You know
have you have you
that
played
that's
Uncharted 3?
how. No, I haven't played a single Uncharted game.
Oof.
Um, God damn. The set pieces first and then story second is how Ruby was made. You know, the Rooster
Oh
Teeth
yeah, I know. I
show.
get that. Oh. So I'm
Yeah,
going to tell you a brief bit from the Uncharted 3 that kind of baffles me once somebody pointed it out to me.
yeah.
One of the characters has this notorious ability for off-screen teleportation that they
Oh, I hate that.
reference frequently. They're like, "How does he do it? How would he get away?"
Is it
Or
like twins or some shit?
no, so there's even a scene where they shoot the guy, and he manages to survive getting shot and falling off like a cliff. And it's like, how'd he do it? And you want to know the twist at the end?
He didn't?
No, he just did. There's no
That's stupid.
explanation. They
At, at least give him a twin.
at least
I think
explain how he manages to survive some of that stuff.
you know what I would do if I had someone who, in an otherwise realistic like setting, seemed to have teleportation and shit like that. I
Twins.
would pull a motherfucking prestige, give that shit a double, and like in the climax after you finally kill him, like there's a clap behind you and you see the other one.
That's cool. Yeah. But
Yeah.
when I say off-screen teleportation, I mean like he walks behind a wall, and there's no actual way out from behind that wall. Kind of off-screen teleportation. Like it's very egregious.
You know, the only way to make that viable is to make it part of their character that they're a magician.
To be fair, there was one theory that, well, it never actually went anywhere. Um,
Was it
somebody,
all in his head?
no, it's Uncharted. It's never in Nate's head except for when it is. Um,
Uh,
yeah. So the character has like the magical power to drug people and like control their minds and whatnot. And
so is it like just pausing time for them, basically?
no, what the big reveal is that he's just a random dude, but like, it's a story that deals with a magic genie lamp at one point. So the fact
Uh,
that he's not a genie or some sort of malicious trickster god is such a wasted opportunity. Especially in a franchise that notoriously does that shit regularly.
you know, I think magicians make some of the best villains because they can get away with so much shit.
I get that. The
One of my
Uncharted games are
favorite,
such weird storytelling.
yeah, one of my
Oh,
favorite
cutscene.
magician. Oh, they gonna explode?
Kinda.
Oh no, they're releasing their souls. Oh boy. And
Admittedly, the
the,
chariot is pretty cool.
yeah, I like that. Oh, is it gonna be one of those levels where you gotta smack shit out of the sky? It's gonna be a
No.
rail shooter.
No,
Oh.
unfortunately not.
Which God of War had that?
I think the second one.
The second one? I think you were like riding harpies or
Pegasus.
a dragon. You were riding Pegasus?
Yeah, I believe so.
Right, and you were killing the harpies.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
flashback.
Oh, this is before he became the ghost.
Yeah, remember when Kratos had a loving family?
Yes.
Gave his wife jewelry. He returned home with treasures from stolen lands.
Remember when a lot of people got pissed that Kratos was being voiced by a black man, even though Kratos is pretty dark skinned before he got covered in ashes?
I think part of the anger about that was more the fact, why are you making the whitest mother effer in like the world voiced by a black man? It wasn't that he was black. I think it's that Kratos wasn't black was the issue, and I'm like, isn't
But he is. Kratos is.
he's very dark skinned, yeah. But before the
Yeah.
whole covered in the ashes of his family thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Like people are like, why is he so pasty? And it's like he's literally covered in the ashes of his dead family. Problem
Yeah,
solved.
that's one of the main driving that's one of the driving motivations for his character is how livid he is at the gods for making that happen.
Also, he still has the ashes in like Ragnarok, so it never
Yeah.
goes away. That's like
Yeah.
hundreds of years, constantly reminded every time you look in a mirror.
Yeah. Cuz you know,
I'm in Hades
oh
again. Whoa.
again. Oh god. Damn it.
Yeah, this is why I like to say that this game is just a series of vignettes loosely held together.
Because there was no decent segue. The horse is just stopped working and you fell into the underworld
No,
somehow?
that's where Helios is.
Oh, Helios is in the underworld?
Yeah, so he's been kidnapped by Atlas. You don't see, and Atlas is holding him
Right,
hostage in the
right.
underworld.
Right, because we free him in the third game.
No, we kill him in the third game.
Wait, I thought did we free him in the second game?
No, you free him. Oh no, Atlas is forever chained.
Oh, okay.
So
I
Atlas
just
is
remember
forever
he has
chained.
4 arms.
Yes, he's a great design. He's also voiced by Michael Clark Duncan.
Nice. Michael Clark Duncan is my favorite Kingpin.
He is great. I like Vincent D'Onofrio though, so it is a hard choice. They're both great
Yeah.
for different reasons. No,
Oh, what was that one really bad movie Michael Clark Duncan was in? It was a really bad CG movie about like space fairies that looked like turtles.
never heard of this. But Ugly Martians?
Delgo.
Delgo?
Do you remember Delgo?
No, I
I'm
didn't even
pretty
know he
sure
was in that.
I'm pretty sure that was him.
I would not be surprised, but at the same time, he was in Kung Fu Panda as the Rhino.
Yeah, Clark Duncan. He played Marley in Delgo.
Hmm. What's that movie about the guy and his horse who raced across the Arabic sands?
Lawrence of Arabia.
No. It's a movie with Owen Wilson, I think, and it was a Disney film. The
I
premise
have.
is that it's supposedly based off a true story told by a dude, but like no evidence backs up these claims. He's a famous horse rider and showman from like the age of like the 1800s. And the story goes that he traveled to the Arabic desert and participated in a horse race.
Hidalgo.
Hidalgo, yes.
I looked up Owen Wilson horse movie. Oh, hey, it's got J.K. Simmons in it.
Yeah, it's a good movie. The problem is it's based entirely on bullshit.
Yeah, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I mean, yeah, but the difference is that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre knows it's BS.
Well, the original said that it was based off a true story.
I mean, yeah, but like that they did that with Fargo.
Oh God, Fargo, Fargo,
That's the one
Fargo.
with the Canadian officer who's like, "Don't you know?" And she's hunting down a series of murderers. It's a Coen Brothers film.
Ah,
It's super good, but it opens with "This is a true story," and you're
the
like,
only the only Coen Brothers film that I know of is Garfield.
"That's not Coen Brothers." How
I
dare
no,
you?
it's made by brothers whose last name is Cohen. I love that that's the only reason that Bill Murray agreed to be in Garfield is because he thought it was the actual Cohen brothers and not just two brothers that happened to be named Cohen.
Yeah, they made a really good movie with John Goodman, where he was a serial killer.
Oh man, I think John Goodman was a fantastic actor. He's my favorite Fred Flintstone.
Yeah, there's a great scene in that movie. I haven't seen the movie in ages, but there's a great scene I remember. It's when two police officers have hunted down um, the protagonist because they believe that he's a serial killer. And then John Goodman's character shows up, and John Goodman's character is the actual serial killer. So what ends up happening is he grabs like a shotgun and starts running down the hallway, blowing them away, while screaming his head off and like shouting biblical stuff. It's a great scene in like in a good movie. I just remember
Yeah.
that like when the Coens talked about it in interviews, they were like, he just showed up at our doorsteps and asked how we were going to treat the flies we were using in the film.
You know what? One of my favorite Coen brother Coen brother films is.
Do tell.
I really, really like the Hudsucker Proxy. I've told you about it a lot, and I don't think you've watched it
Is that a
still.
Coen film?
Yes,
Okay, I do need to see it. I keep telling myself, oh, I'm gonna see it. It's the one about the making of the
it's
hula hoop, right?
yes, it is so good. Um, the plot of it is that it's got Bruce Campbell in it.
Oh, okay. I like Bruce Campbell.
I do too.
He's good in like
Um,
90% of the stuff he's been in.
oh,
Oh, so
absolutely.
here's something hilarious. Bruce Campbell, his son was playing Fortnite, was streaming Fortnite while playing as Bruce Campbell's character for Ash in
Oh,
Fortnite.
that's great. Um, but yeah, the Hudsucker Proxy is basically the CEO of this company.
We've talked about him. Oh shoot.
I, I know,
Okay,
but
do you want to talk
I
about it
want to
again?
say,
Is that we're getting at here? Okay.
in case the people watching don't know what it's about.
Okay.
So the CEO of like a massive corporation ends up logging off of life. Um, he ends up logging out of Windows, if you catch my drift.
He disconnected
Um,
from Minecraft.
yes. And so the company uh, decides to the board of directors realize that they're kind of fucked, so they want to short the company, and they decide to put the first person that they see in charge of it, and which just so happens to be a person who was hired that day to to deliver mail, and this was the literally the first letter he was delivering, because he tells everyone he meets about his great idea that he knows is going to be a big hit, and his schematics for it is just a napkin with a circle drawn on it. And so they put him in charge, and he starts producing it. And then the board of directors sell all their shares before the company tanks. Except the
It's the
hula
hula hoop.
hoop is a big hit. The company makes massive profits, and now the board of directors are livid because they ended up losing a shit ton of money when they were trying to make the company lose a shit ton of money.
You know, I'm gonna be totally honest. You telling this story constantly makes me think, oh, I really want to see Trading Places again.
Trading Places, what was that about?
It's I definitely know I've told you, but the premise is that it follows Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. Dan
Ooh.
Aykroyd is a rich socialite who works at a stock exchange, and Eddie Murphy is a down on his luck beggar who is framed for a crime he didn't actually commit by Dan Aykroyd's character.
Oh,
It's mostly played for comedy,
oh
but
man.
the result has Dan Aykroyd's boss go, "Hey, what leads a man to this? Is it nature or nurture?" So his bosses crack this ingenious plan to make the two trade places.
Yes, you have told me about this.
I swear there's
Yes,
something I should be doing
I
here.
remember.
There's,
Uh,
there's something that I
'Cause
can do here, but I'm not sure what. Can't move it. Uh,
yes, you have told me about this before, because then I started talking about Gattaca.
hmm. Actually, I think I can do
Gattaca's
up here.
a real good movie.
Oh, Gosh, I feel like I'm missing something. I know that I don't know this puzzle. It's one of those weird ones where it's like the solution is stupid simple once you actually know what it is.
Can you break the fire?
No, that's just hellfire. Oh no, I'm
Oh,
up here.
it's a platform up there.
Okay. You think that's like for an extra chest, you know?
Yeah. I do like the rivers of blood. They are a nice touch.
Very good. Very far away from the whole meat theme the first Hell had.
Yeah. Which makes sense in Greek mythology since typically the places we see are most likely the fields of punishment, so there'd be different areas for different punishments.
That's fair.
You know what game had a really good hell?
Um, is it Senua's Sacrifice?
Yes, but not the one I was gonna say. I
Dante's
was gonna
Inferno?
say I haven't played any Devil May Cry. You know this. Uh, no. Gauntlet Dark Legacy. Because you gotta go to hell to kill Scorn.
Fair enough. It's fairly generic though, so I don't think it counts.
Eh,
Fair enough. I'll give you that.
it's got banners made out of skin with faces on them.
That's fair.
Yeah. It's got a. The thing I like the most about it is the enemies, like all the enemies from every level.
That's cool. Yeah, all the ones you killed. You butchered your way through all of them. You got to
Yeah,
do it again.
yeah. I really like that. Um, what other Coen brother movies are good?
No Country for Old
Uh,
Men.
yeah, and Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah, they do a lot of good ones.
Yeah, I think Oh Brother, Where Art Thou had John Goodman too. It didn't
I
it?
would not be surprised. John Goodman's in a lot of good stuff, and
I'm pretty
not.
sure he was the guy with the eye patch.
I can believe that. I'm gonna be totally
Yeah.
honest. I've seen very few Coen Brother movies, and not from lack of trying.
Have you seen Armageddon?
That's a Coen Brothers movie?
I'm pretty sure it is.
You mean the one with the
Nope.
miners? That's Michael
Never mind.
Bay.
Yeah, why is it on a list of Coen brother
They
movies?
might have been involved in producing at one point.
Maybe. I don't know why it's okay, so yeah, no, that's not. Okay. You know what my favorite disaster film is? Because disaster films were a
Disaster
huge.
Artist?
No. Disaster films were like huge in the late '90s and early 2000s. Ever since Titanic.
Is it 2012? That's a kind of okay one.
No, but that is my favorite comedy.
Fair enough.
But no. Dante's Peak.
Oh, isn't that the one where the old lady walks through like poison
Acid.
acid and then just
Her.
walks around for a bit more?
Yeah, what happens is the boat is sinking and they're almost to shore, but they're not sure if they can make it. So she panics and gets out of the boat and into the water that's been turned into acid due to all the sulfur
Hmm.
being put into it by the volcano. And like I don't, she like takes a couple steps once she's on land and then collapses, and then they look at her legs, which have been you know, chemically burned. And then she dies
Oh,
from shock. Yeah, it's real rough. But
yeah. I think
so
my issue with that scene in particular is the fact that they just sort of walk, or she just sort of walks around in it for like a good chunk of time. Like she doesn't just push it; she pushes it and then she walks around for a bit in the acid before finally getting out, which
yeah,
makes it
well,
even
no,
funnier.
she no, she gets out of. I'm pretty sure she gets out of the boat and wades through the acid to the to the shore. which is like maybe 10 feet, but that's still a decent chunk of.
She pushes the boat.
I don't think she does.
I think she pushes the boat. That's how they get to shore.
I I I haven't seen it since I was in summer school. So in middle school, I failed biology, so I had to take summer school, which was really easy. It was like only 2 weeks, and the first week we did just it was easy, and the second week we just watched Dante's Peak.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, that was my favorite disaster film.
That's fair.
Do you have a Do you have any favorite disaster films?
Uh, that is a good question. There's probably. Give me a second to think on that. I really do like. Um, I don't know if this counts, but I do like. Um, I'm trying to remember the name.
What was it about?
It's That's the hard part. I know there's one I really like. I just can't name it or remember what it's about at the moment.
Do you at least remember what the disaster was?
It was not a twister. It was
So it's not Twister.
yeah. Uh is it the No, I'm pretty sure it's 2012.
God. Is 2012 the one where the family like gets under the table, uh, and then the husband comes in and is like, "You need to get out of the house. It's not safe there," even though they were literally in the safest place to be during an earthquake.
I remember it being the one where like the crazy conspiracy nut is sort of just hanging around and they just sort of leave him to die.
Ah, that's
Yeah,
rough.
yeah. So they find the conspiracy nut, and they're just sort of hanging out with him for a bit. And he's like, "I found it. I can prove it. We're all gonna die. You gotta take this information to the government." And then like he
You
dies
should
the
probably
next
save
scene.
before you do that. Oh,
They open the gate.
yeah, okay. These cutscenes look decent.
They're pretty well. They're pretty good. Very compressed, but very well done.
Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Ah, hell yeah.
I
A
love this boat.
boat. Is that Karen's boat?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
You know, I would love to play like Dante's Inferno sometimes because they have a really good interpretation of. No, I did not save. Ah, fuck. Ah, well.
Oh, you better hope you don't die.
Well, lucky me. This is a made-to-lose boss fight.
I like that it has the head of. He's carrying the head of the guy of the barbarian on his belt.
I, that might be it. Yeah, probably. I didn't recognize that. I think you recognized that first. Woof.
Yeah, they focused on it.
I
I'm
didn't realize
wondering
that
who
was the
the.
barbarian face.
I love the mask.
It's a
How
very,
it's not actually on. It's just floating in front of his face a bit.
yeah. It's a very good. Okay, I'm just gonna beat the crap out of this guy.
Oh
But
god, I love scythes. You know, Kratos probably just should have brought some coins.
probably Kratos really needs to get better at managing his finances. I'm just saying.
Oh, absolutely.
Give me a
I'm gonna
second. I
look
have a
up.
bunch of mine.
I'm gonna look up the trivia on Karen to see whose heads there are. Hold on. Let's see. No, there's nothing that on what it. There's nothing on the who the other two heads are on the wiki.
Okay, so one's just the Barbarian King.
Pretty sure.
Okay, I didn't recognize it as such, so color me impressed.
I mean, it might not be. It might just be something that looks a lot like it.
I can believe that.
But like the beard.
Yeah, the beard makes sense.
Yeah.
Or it could be Kratos' head in the future.
Ooh.
Since we know Dad of Boy's a thing. Okay, here we go. Here's where he fucks me over.
Oh no, it's not the Barbarian King. Barbarian King has a different beard and
Oh, okay.
also hair.
Yeah, he just
Okay.
one shots you instantly.
All right. Well, that's disappointing. They totally could have had it be the Barbarian King's head.
Yeah.
You know whose heads I would have made it be?
Do tell.
I would have had it be the Barbarian King, the Kratos' mother, and the fisherman or the boat captain from the first game.
So it can't be Kratos' mother because she wasn't dead at that point.
Oh, right, right. Okay, so then the boat captain's head, the
The boat captain wasn't dead at that point either.
well, this is
This is a prequel. It takes place before that.
okay, okay, then never mind. So
I
Kratos
would have
isn't the
made
god
it
here.
one would be his wife.
Oh yeah, his wife, daughter, and the Barbarian King.
Yeah, the
The
three
three
great
most
tragedies.
important. Yeah, the three faces of when he lost everything.
Yeah. Maybe one could be the old lady face, but like that's a bit of a stretch. I'm pretty sure that's Athena.
Yeah,
No, wait, no, wait. I know exactly what it is. That's one of
she's
the
the Oracle.
Furies. That's one of
Oh,
the
the old
Furies,
lady.
actually. Yeah,
Oh, I thought she was the Oracle.
she's the Oracle, but she's also one of the Furies.
Oh,
That's one of the big reveals in Ascension.
oh,
Otherwise, just sort of an okay game. Ascension's main issue is that it's got some of the best combat, but the story is the worst.
yeah. Did we try to see if God of War 2 could run?
I have not tried it. No,
We could try it.
that could be fun.
God of War 1 didn't run too well. They really need to make a God of War trilogy remaster.
There have been a few. Well, they're
Really?
more like HD retextures rather than remaster propers.
Oh no, they need to go the Spyro route. Start from the ground up. All in one.
They're pretty impressive games. One of which is on the PS3. So
Yeah, but I think they should do from the ground up remasters and also release it onto Steam.
fair enough. I can see the release on Steam bet.
Because God of War is bigger than it has been in the last 10 years.
They released God of War 3 HD a few years ago.
Hmm.
So they're mostly just doing HD re-releases. I think it's because Santa Monica would want to handle it personally, and they've got a lot on their plates. Santa Monica makes like a lot of really impressive games. They're like the I don't like the name quadruple A developer, but if there was a quadruple A developer, it would be Santa Monica.
That's fair.
Like I feel a bit of bile in my throat having said that. Just quadruple A. Like we do not need quadruple A. We just need more triple A to be like, you know, actually meaningful and release some double A games for once. We need to
Yeah.
stop relying on re-releases of Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. I'm just saying, you can't have that be the only double A release in the past 10 years.
We need more B-ranked games.
Single A is your indie games. Double A is budget
Your batteries.
platformers and what. Yeah, fair enough.
Eh, yeah. You know what game, indie game we should definitely play because it's
Do
really
tell.
good? Hollow Knight.
I'm waiting for Silk Song.
That's fair, but we should definitely play Hollow Knight. Isn't Silk Song gonna be a straight up sequel rather than just an expansion?
I believe it is a straight up sequel at this.
Yeah. So we should do Hollow Knight before Silk Song comes out.
Hmm, fair enough.
I could try Hollow Knight. I did have a lot of fun.
Yeah, sure. We could do that. We know it runs
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. And I'm not bad at it. I'm not good at it, but I'm not bad at it.
I think if anything, I wouldn't want to do like a game like Hollow Knight mostly because it's like a big Metroidvania.
Yeah,
But
it definitely is bigger than like the Metroidvanias we've played on stream thus far.
yeah, but like it's a great game, so
Yeah. I would be down for it. I can try next week if you're down for it.
I think we're still discussing like what I'm playing after this one.
Yeah.
Because I think if we do like a 2-hour stream of this game, we'd probably be done. It is not much longer after you get to Hades.
You could do Sonic Frontiers.
I could. I have to make sure it runs properly.
That is true. It is a Sonic game.
Funny for a game about speed. I'm pretty sure
Well,
there's a fan patch already that makes it run on Windows 7.
speaking of, I need to look for fan patches for Sonic Forces. I need to look for a fan patch to, make it playable
Ugh.
without crashing my entire computer, and also a fan patch to make my ears not be obscured by hats.
Fair enough.
Because I did have fun when I could play, but
I
also
get that.
I had to not do.
One of my
I,
favorite motifs in God of War, especially the early ones, is running along massive chains.
oh, absolutely! The first game did it so well.
And the second game did it really well as well.
Yeah, I just remember the chains that kept the Temple of Pandora on Kronos's back,
Those
because
are good.
that's such good scenery. Just
The entirety of God of War 1 is just like so many good ideas, and I'm so happy.
that they all worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Santa Monica was kind of like that was their first major game, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. I know it was like Sony gave them like a lot of trust because of David Jaffe's history of Twisted Metal.
Yeah. Um. So thinking about Hollow Knight, and by extension Dark Souls, because Hollow Knight is very Dark Souls esque, both
And
in
by
difficulty.
extension, God of War, because God of War is now a dad game for dads, which includes
Uh,
Dark Souls.
yeah. So Dark Souls, the thing I like about Dark Souls is its core message of shit's hard, but you don't lose unless you give up. Because
That's
it's
fair.
not dying that hollows you; it's giving up that hollows you. You know,
That's fair.
when you put down the controller, that is when your character ceases to progress, and story-wise, they would just end up being another wandering corpse to be killed by some other person.
The cycle of
Like,
endless rebirth.
yeah,
I do like
I
that
do.
by the time of this game, they solidified the designs of the gods.
Oh yeah, I'm not a fan of Hades' design though.
Do you know
Oh,
who he's voiced by?
Mark Hamill,
Clancy Brown,
Clancy Brown.
Mr. Krabs.
Oh, okay. Did Mark Hamill voice anyone in God of War?
I don't think so. With the Titans unchanged, Hades was given guardianship of the underworld. Keeping a watchful eye on the immortal enemies of Olympus, he rules over the dead alongside his wife, Persephone. Oh, on that
Yes.
note, you said in our previous stream when I asked you who you would trade your soul to for eternal service in exchange for saving your life, you said Persephone, right?
Yeah. Either Persephone or Melanoe. Melanoe. Melione.
Fair enough.
Goddess of ghosts.
Zeus, king of the gods, upon defeating the Titans in the ancient war, Zeus banished them to the underworld and demanded they be imprisoned, forever chained in their torment in the depths of Tartarus.
Except for Kronos, who he demanded to wander the desert forever.
Upon defeating the Titans, Poseidon should domain over the seas and is master of its creatures. He's also the loser brother, so he gets the worst boss fight in God of War 1. No. He is one of the coolest boss fights, I'm gonna be totally honest.
Yeah. So these are the big three gods, the sons of Kronos.
Yeah.
Ugh. I think Hades is the eldest
He
god.
is. Hades is the eldest, Zeus is the youngest.
Yeah. Oh my god. He's gone.
I'm pretty sure it's Hades, Poseidon, Demeter, and it goes sort of down the list until it's Hera and Zeus at the very bottom.
Yeah. I think Hestia might be between Hera and Zeus.
Fair enough. I don't recall her being like one of the siblings, but like that's probably because like most modern versions don't even bother mentioning her.
Yeah, she gave up her seat for
To,
Dionysus
yeah, Dionysus, yeah.
because she honestly, out of all the gods to ever exist, she's probably the most morally,
Humble.
yes, she's the one that you can reliably not get fucked over by. I don't even I can't even recall any story where she got pissed.
I love this execution. That is such a great
Oh
execution.
yeah, stabbing the hands down and then using his own blade to cut his head off.
Yeah. The God of War games have always had amazing execution.
Are
Not
there good executions in Ragnarok?
Yes, I can list one
Okay,
off. It's
please
not a
don't.
okay,
uh,
but it's not
'Cause
against the boss. Don't worry.
you know what? You should see if you. Oh no, because it's a place. Once it's on Steam,
Next year, I believe. That's the
yeah,
rumor.
I'm definitely gonna get it and I will play it on the channel.
Okay. It's got a really long campaign though. Like I've heard people talk that it's like 30 hours just for the main story.
And that's only like what 15 episodes.
Fair enough.
We've fucking um uh Banjo Kazooie had Nuts and Bolts had more episodes.
Well, I think the difference is that God of War Ragnarok has a lot more meaningful side content. So you might get suckered into some of that. Just saying.
Oh, probably. But also, I think I'm probably gonna have two profiles, one to play on my own and one to play on stream.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you know what game I would love to play on stream, but it would take a long time?
Do tell.
New Vegas.
Yeah, I can believe that. Hey! Off-screen cheap shot!
What is this? Ocarina of Time played by someone who doesn't know how to play it and skips tutorials? Uh, that still makes me a little bit salty.
You don't even like Ocarina of Time that much.
I don't, but that like I agree on a lot of his other points in terms of like how the story is presented. Uh, but that particular point of being like, oh, you go down the corridor and something hits you from off screen, that pisses me off a lot because that is the corridor where they teach you to use Z targeting to look around corners. Navi tells you to look around corners to make sure things aren't coming at you. Uh, and
Eh.
it's something that does get used later on. There's a breakable wall.
Really? I never would have guessed from the texture.
Uh, but yeah, that is the
Okay,
only part of
what
the
is
video I'm
with this
salty.
switch? This switch opens that door, but it's behind a breakable wall. Oh no, you can see where it was supposed to be reached from because there's a doorway that's
Yeah,
covered in
but
dirt.
that collapsed.
No.
Yeah,
Oof. Hades, my man, you really gotta make sure Tartarus is up to
he's not
code.
Mammon. He's Hades. Mammon is someone different. I think Mammon is the Prince of Greed.
I wouldn't know. On that
Pretty
note,
sure.
ooh. The jailer of Tartarus. The gods entrusted the jailer with the key to the Temple of Zeus, where the weapon that enchanted the Titans was kept safe.
Oh, that sounds important.
Yeah. It sounds like a powerful weapon. I want it.
You know what would be a good character action game?
Do tell.
One where you have to go down the 9 circles, the 9 rings of hell.
That's Dante's Inferno.
Oh, like I said, I haven't played it.
It's really good. It's insanely impressive. The
Maybe you
prob
should play that next week.
well, first off, the final boss literally has his dick swinging out. So,
Oh,
and there is so much tit.
okay. Then maybe we won't play on stream. But one that's like, uh, ooh, the Crypt Keeper's key, Tales from the Crypt. You know what my favorite Tales of the Crypt episode was?
I've never seen a single episode of Tales from the Crypt, so tell me.
It was one about it was I think it was about a brothel run by vampires, and the vampires would wear sunscreen to protect themselves from the sun, and like after the guy is doing his best to try and prove are real, and manages to kill one, but can't like has to leave the body, so the vampires end up just putting the vampire corpse into a closed casket with a fat guy, and
Mm.
then the guy finds out, opens it, and takes a picture. But because one of the bodies in the casket is a vampire, that body doesn't show up on the camera, so it looks like he just broke into a casket and took a picture of a fat guy.
Oof.
Anywho, it ends with him burning. It ends with him. I think that he has to gather the 4 pieces of the heart of the vampire queen or some shit.
Isn't this
Because
a
I
kid
remember
show?
what Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
And what am I thinking about that's like a kid show for like horror anthology?
Oh, you're talking about the Canadian. Don't be afraid of shadows or whatever.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's Tales from the Crypt.
It's not Tales of the
The,
Crypt.
the, the,
There's one about the kids gathered around the campfire, and the plot is that there's always like one person is new to the group, so they have to tell scary stories to scare the new kid.
mm. That sounds like Tales from the
Uh,
Crypt, but I might be wrong.
no,
I
it is
never watched any of that stuff. I want to emphasize.
the Crypt Keeper is a puppet that is a desiccated corpse that's old. It looks like the guy from it looks
Ah,
like the
yeah,
guy
you're
who
right.
yeah.
Having vanquished his enemies in the ancient war, Zeus demanded that Hephaestus craft a weapon that would bind the Titans to the very walls of Tartarus. Thus was created the Gauntlet of Zeus. Okay, I need to know. There.
Bordello of Blood. It was the Tales from the Crypt movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anywho, it ends with the guy's wife. It ends with all the vampires dying, and then he's driving somewhere with his wife. He's like, "Hey, that's are you wearing a different perfume?" And she's like, "Oh, no, I put on sunscreen." Or no, it's like, "Oh, hey, are you wearing a different perfume?" And she's like, "Oh, something like that." And then he like has to go in the glove box for something and finds a bunch of empty sunscreen bottles,
Oof.
implying that his wife is a vampire.
Okay. So it's like the Twilight Zone movie without a bunch of people dying in a easily avoidable helicopter crash.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know the plot of the I don't know the plot of the
Twilight Zone movie?
yeah.
I'm referring to the infamous,
Yeah, the helicopter crash, which
yeah.
we have mentioned multiple times.
Yeah.
I've never actually heard a synopsis of the plot, only you recounting the
Yeah,
helicopter crash.
but basically what happens in the movie is it's basically three separate short stories told by famous movie directors like Steven Spielberg and whatnot. I think that's even the one where the famous gremlins on the airplane scene comes from.
Huh. I I found the show you were thinking of. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh, okay.
That's what you were thinking of.
Finally.
It was made by the people who did the Goosebumps show.
Oh shoot, I need to.
You gotta go Doomfist on it. You see, boy, with the snap of my finger, half of all people cease existing.
Half of the Greek pantheon ceases to be.
Yeah. And then I snapped again to get the other half, but that just only got half of the remaining people. So I had to keep snapping until it was just
Me
yeah,
and
until
Athena.
yeah, me and Athena, and then I
And
just killed her.
then I just killed myself. Problem solved.
Yes.
Because the real monster is me all along, boy.
But I
Boy.
am your monster no longer.
Boy.
You see, after I killed the Greek pantheon, I then came here and met a Norse version of myself, and then went to Egypt and met an Egyptian version of myself, and then we traveled to uh, Jerusalem to witness the birth of the final god.
His name was Jesus, I think.
His
He's
name was Josh, and he was very oily.
he's very popular in America, a country that completely misunderstood his teaching.
He's not actually popular there. It's just they have an idea of what he was like. They've uh he it's their idea of him. It's a parasocial relationship.
I don't think any of them even know what he's talking about when he says feed the poor and the homeless.
We did that a lot in Sparta. No one was homeless or hungry because if they were, they would be conscripted. Then they would have a roof over their head and food as long as they fought for Sparta.
That's fair.
Yeah. We were very progressive. Even the women would learn to fight.
So here's something funny. Kratos may have been part of the Hot Gates, or at
The
least he was.
what?
So you know the 300 Spartans.
Oh yeah,
It's
the ones
implied
that
that Kratos was either there and survived, or he was offered a chance to go there but didn't at the time.
I like to think that he was there and survived.
I can definitely believe that.
Yeah,
Either
cuz
he would totally go there.
yeah, didn't they wasn't the wasn't the fight against the Persians referenced in Ghost of Sparta?
I mean, I literally do at the start of this game.
Oh, that's probably what. You know what? Yeah, that's what. you're thinking of then.
No, but there is reference in extended God of War material that he did know about the hot gate and
Yeah.
lamented that he wasn't there, or at least that he didn't die there. So
Uh, if he was there, that would have had a very different ending.
Leonidas, give me your spear. It's the end of 300, the movie, but it's Kratos instead.
Yeah, and then Xerxes is just like, all that for a drop of blood. Kratos would be like, make a god bleed and people will cease existing. Or people will cease believing. That's what it
There
was.
was a 300 sequel movie that wasn't that good.
Was it called 301?
No, it was 300 Rise of Athens or something.
Oh, that does not sound good.
It's actually based off a sequel comic.
Uh,
It's so you know that the 300 Spartans.
yeah, it was a comic, and
Yeah,
Zack Snyder wanted to like the reason why there was so much slow motion was because Zack Snyder wanted to give like the feeling that he had reading the comics.
that's fair. So in the years later, the writer of the original comic, Frank Miller, I believe, did make a follow up, and it focused on the life of Xerxes, and certain bits and pieces were taken from that to form the follow up sequel movie, um, whose name I cannot recall. Second. But it's
I
an
love that
okay
you could just
movie.
fucking summon Demise.
Probably.
They, the person that you summoned to punch all that shit looks a lot like Demise from
Oh yeah,
Skyward
fair
Sword.
enough. Okay, that's it. You're
Oh,
getting punched.
God. Can you imagine a Doomfist skin that's Kratos?
But Doomfist isn't any good.
I know.
They made him the worst tank. So funny.
Got one of my favorite edits was an edit of the Doomfist video. You know, the one where they introduce the hero, give a little bit of backstory.
Yeah,
And what it is it's Doomfist fighting everyone, and then when he punches Genji, it's just I need healing.
I get that.
Yeah,
Okay,
as a
if you were to
is
make
in
a game based off another country's mythos, it doesn't have to be God of War style, but if you were to make a game based off of like a mythos or set of stories, um, in sort of an action hero sort of method, like a character action game, what would it be?
Journey to the West, no question.
That is a good
Actually, wait,
choice.
that's a thing. That's actually a thing being made.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I don't think it's 100% like a. No, it probably is. Um, you know what I would choose? Grim Fables.
Yeah, let's see. Is it
I think it's called Black Monkey or something.
Black Myth Wukong?
Oh yeah, I heard about that. That looks fun.
Yeah. It's supposed to be really good. But yeah, no, I would love to play a Journey to the West game
I can believe that.
because you know, all the fighting all the different like attacks you can do with a with a pole would
That shape change
be
shifts,
yeah,
and you
like
know
you
he has
could
the
do
clouds.
yeah, so many cool combos could be done.
Yeah,
It'd be the closest we get to a Dragon Ball game
a
in the
good
modern
one.
day.
A good one, probably. There was like a Dragon Ball Z Kakarot story that was like, really
Yeah, but that was all the Z stuff. It didn't go into Dragon Ball.
fair enough.
I do want to do a Xenoverse at some point on the channel
Maybe.
because that was real fun. The question is, will we be playing? Will we be playing a Majin or will we be playing a Saiyan?
We're gonna be playing a Human.
No, humans are
We have to
boring.
play a generic ass human, and he's got to be named Krillin too.
Nah, if we're playing a generic ass human, we gotta play goddamn Yamcha Jr. You know, someone who's worse than Krillin.
Fair enough. Yeah, so this design is a bit generic, but this is one of the Titans.
Yeah, it's Atlas.
No, that's not Atlas.
Oh, is that who is that then?
I have no idea.
I mean, it can't be Kronos
I have no idea.
because Kronos is in the
The desert, yeah.
yeah. I mean, he's got the forehead like Kronos, but I think all the Titans have that.
That's fair.
God, what was there was a Dragon Ball Z game where if you fight a Cyberman, and it does the explosion, the self-destruct thing, it takes off like half your health. But if you play as Yamcha fighting it, it instant kills you no matter how much health you have.
That
Like you
is
can,
wild.
yeah, it is great, and he does the pose and everything.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, it is Yamcha. I would definitely.
Would you watch a spin-off series all about Yamcha?
Probably not.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I want a Dragon Ball game, a game that starts when he meets Bulma and ends when he beats Piccolo Jr.
Okay. Yeah, I can believe that. You know, it'd be a neat character action game. Grim Fables.
Grim Fables? That
Yes.
sounds familiar.
The brothers Grimm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the twisted version of all the fairy tales, right?
No, that's the original version.
The original?
Yeah. The brothers Grimm went around the world gathering fables from different parts of the world.
Okay, yeah.
So they are as authentic as you can get. A little messed up, but authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot.
How would it work? Would it be like, you know how I can see it working? Someone getting sucked into a Fable book and having to fight their way through the different stories.
You could definitely do a all the stories are real sort of thing like God of War does.
Oh, you know what would be a great character action game?
What?
Jack.
And
Just
Dexter?
no, every story, like all the different fables involving someone named Jack, and it's the same person. So you just go through all the shit.
Give me a
You
second.
know, Jack Be Nimble, Jack and the Beanstalk.
That's from Grim Fables.
Yeah, I know. All of it was the same Jack.
Yeah, you could definitely make that the main protagonist.
Yeah.
Even Stingy Jack if you want.
Yeah, he was Stingy Jack.
Fuck off,
So
fuck off, fuck off. All of these archers die.
the tutorial level would probably be like Jack Be Nimble and you gotta platform over some fire.
Nah, it's Rapunzel's tower.
What?
It's a,
Was
it'd be a
Jack
platforming stage. He has to climb Rapunzel's tower.
Was Jack the one that did it?
No, it doesn't have to be, but you could definitely say that he did all the other fables too.
I guess that's fair.
I mean, if you're making a character action game about like Jack, you might as well include some other of the Grim Fables while you're at it.
That's fair. We could have the jumping over the fire be be the climax of that level. And that's where he gets the nickname. He would have to do it as a kid though, because the next one would definitely be the Beanstalk.
I think it would be important if it's done all while he's like a mature adult or whatever. You don't have to be completely accurate to the timeline. But I think
That's
accuracy to a timeline would probably be a terrible idea. No matter how good the timeline is, never exchange timeline shenanigans or accuracy to a source material for good storytelling.
That's fair. But yeah, the final level would definitely be him versus the devil, though.
I can believe that.
Maybe the giant would be the mid boss, the mid game boss.
I think you have to give him like a hook, like the reason why he's doing all this. But I think once you figure that out, the rest of it would be smooth sailing.
Yeah. I mean, he could just be a mischievous person.
Yeah, but
Maybe we
then there
can
wouldn't
go
be
the
much of a
route.
drive.
Yeah, I guess the route could be maybe it could start with him killing the giant. Maybe his mom dies when the giant falls, and then he makes the deal with the devil to bring her back, and then he has to do this. He has to work under the devil's servitude until he gets strong enough to usurp him.
God of War again, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah. Except you would actually be playing the origin level. Unless it's just done in cutscene, but
You could do
like,
it in flashback. I guess it depends.
yeah, yeah. That way you can still have it have happened when he was a kid.
Eh, probably.
Yeah. Uh,
However
so what?
long of servitude, working for the devil, etc., etc. Give him a pumpkin
Yeah,
head at the end.
yeah. Got. You know who my favorite Jack is in media? Uh, pump. The Jack from the Billy and Mandy Halloween special.
That's Pumpkin Jack, aka Jack Stingy Jack.
I know. He's
Which,
my favorite version of him.
I'm gonna be honest, I agree. He's very fun.
Cause yeah, he is the first one to outsmart Grimm. He is the precursor to Mandy.
Eh, I need to watch that again. That's a good
Oh yeah. All the Billy and Mandy stuff is really good.
Yeah, the movies and specials definitely. Like you could
Yeah.
definitely make a point that some of the individual episodes haven't aged well.
Yeah. But a large chunk of the episodes have aged very well. Like
That's
the
true.
episode where they got to chase down Scar because Scar ended up blowing a hole in his chest by accident.
That's the movie.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's Horror's Hand.
Yeah,
Shit, which is the one I'm thinking of where it ends in like a car chase with.
Horror's Hand.
That's Horror's Hand where it ends up in a car chase where Scar has a car that turns into a submarine.
Yes. And
God
he's like,
damn!
"Ooh, I don't remember what this button does." And then he
And
presses
it
it,
explodes.
and it blows
Oh,
a
the
hole in his
laser.
chest. Yeah,
Right, right. Yes.
that's how he has a hole in his chest.
Yeah. Okay, so I need to watch Horror's Hand again.
I
I
have no
fucking
idea
love
why I
that shit.
remember that specific detail, but
It was a very strong opening.
fair enough.
I mean, it's strong enough for me to remember it as one of my favorite episodes.
Fair enough. I remember the one where Scar tries to kill Billy because he wants to win the best neighbor contest.
Yes, and then Scar ends up being turned into a plant.
By the hands of Zeus, the Titans
Oh,
have been bound and shackled in their torment for 1,000 years, with no hope of escape. Now the chains that once held the Titan Atlas lay broken.
ooh.
Only
Oh, it
one
was
question
Atlas.
plagued the thoughts of Kratos.
Who would release such evil?
So that person we saw was not Atlas. It's whoever
Oh.
is to the left of me. This guy. But Atlas, just slightly off to the side, has been released. So
Who could do such a thing? Probably Morpheus, the Titan, who's been tormenting you all game.
probably. Ah, get off.
Let's see, who were all the Titans? Because let's see, it can't be Prometheus because he's locked away in the Temple of the Fates.
No,
Uh,
he's on a mountain with Typhon,
okay.
where he's
Uh,
bound eternally to Typhon's frozen hand.
is the Temple of the Fates the second or third game?
That is the second game.
Okay. Uh, So yeah, it can't be him because he's up in a mountain. It can't be Kronos because he's in a desert. It can't be Atlas because Atlas was free. And it can't be Morpheus. Um. So,
I mean, it could be more.
well, no, because we've seen what Morpheus looks like, and also Morpheus is
No, we haven't.
isn't the faces on the red? Isn't that?
No, that's not Morpheus. That's just the generic face they use in all the They've been using that one since the first game. That's just the thing, demon face they use to keep you from going further than a combat encounter. They want you to get stuck in.
Yeah. The one that it could be Hyperion,
Hmm.
maybe.
I like that guess.
Hyperion is Helios's father.
Oh, definitely. Definitely a good choice.
Oh no, Hyperion was imprisoned by Kronos, not Zeus.
Hmm. Maybe that's the big
No,
twist.
no, no, wait, no. It was Uranos that imprisoned Hyperion, and then Kronos set him free.
Hmm. So you mean he's out there?
Let's see. So yeah, Hyperion is the father of Helios, Selene, and Eos.
Yeah. Ooh, I guess that makes him a very good choice. What do you think? You think you got it on one?
I don't know. I'm trying to see. I don't see
I'm
anything
feeling
that
confident in your
happened.
choice. I'm gonna be honest. I'm getting good vibes about that one.
Let's see. Yep, he was imprisoned with the other Titans in Tartarus. So he is a good candidate for being that one.
Mm-mm-mm.
This was the game that had Eos and Selene, right?
Yes.
Okay. We played a lot of God of War, so it's hard for me to keep track.
That's fair.
God, I love the indent where Atlas was.
I love it too. It's so good. I love
It,
all the God of War set. The set piece you're running along a chain is just so good in general.
yeah. God of War is really good about giving a good sense of scale of just how big these things are compared to Kratos.
And then in the third game, you get to kill one.
Yeah.
Multiple, actually.
Yeah. Too bad you didn't get to kill Kronos in the first game.
Yeah,
That would
but
have
you get
been
to
cool.
kill him in the third game.
Yeah.
And it's one of the
Yeah.
coolest boss fights.
Oh, absolutely.
And you just rip that man apart. Bit by
Yeah.
bit. Fingernail by fingernail.
Yeah. Ripping off fingernails is one of the things that I really don't want to think about at all because that just th- when I think about it, it's like, oh god, that would hurt so much. Oh, that was a weird camera.
There we go.
That's the kind of camera stuff that you need like uh tank controls for.
Yeah, probably. So we've been going for about an hour 30, but we're in like the
Yeah.
last third, I'd argue. So
Maybe.
outside of like a significantest chunk, I think I could probably beat this in an hour if you want to keep going.
Sure. Oh, hey, one of the things that we were discussing in the Sonic episode that never got that ended up getting corrupted was Daikatana.
Daikatana, yes, the love child of John Romero and his hair.
Yeah. So, Daikatana is indeed So you and Biddy were talking about Daikatana, and I was like, oh hey, that's one of the things that was supposed to be a Quake killer, right?
Yes.
Uh, I found out what the other two games were.
Okay.
I was right about the Klingon. It was Klingon Honor Guard. The one I was forgetting, and I don't know how the fuck I forgot this.
You again.
Oh,
The walls of
I'll tell you
Tartarus will
after
no
you kill.
Yeah, you can tell me while I'm killing Karen.
Well, yeah, after
gods
the
have
cutscene.
wisely taken pity on
I'm
their
gonna break this man's spine.
underestimate me, Kara. This time I will not be so
You know who
merciful.
Karen reminds me of?
Karen?
Gwendolyn.
Fair enough. Oh,
Okay,
oh God. Okay, I'll tell you this after you tell me what the Quake Killer is.
so do you want to take a guess as to what people thought would kill Quake in its tracks?
Do tell me.
Duke Nukem Forever.
To be fair, there was a lot of hope behind that one before it got delayed for 6 years.
It was only 1 dozen.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Duke Nukem Forever is the third game they thought was going to destroy Quake, which is yeah.
There is an
So what?
unreleased version of a Duke Nukem Forever that is, according to some people, legitimately pretty good.
Nice. So what was it you wanted to say?
Yes. So at work the other day, I was sort of doing job stuff, and this lady comes up on her phone, and I'm helping her through stuff, and I overhear her talking to the person on the phone, and she's like, "Anyway, she gave us a fake name," and I'm like, "What were you talking about? I need to know this story." She's like, "Oh, and she hangs up the phone. It's like, "Oh, I'll tell you right now."
Oh boy.
And it turns out that this so according to her, this lady comes up and she works in a nail salon, and
Yeah.
she's discussing like nail salon stuff, whatever. And she's like, "Have you seen the TikTok about the crazy nail salon, Karen?" I'm like, "No, I don't think I have." And she's like, she tries to show me the video, but she can't find it.
Oh.
Anyway, this lady came up to the nail salon and was like, "Hey, I have an order," and apparently she gave them a fake name because like she was banned from the store for this kind of bullshit,
Oh.
and was sort of relying on the fact that nobody knew her by face.
Did they have like a picture of her being like, "Hey, don't. This person is banned."
They didn't. They had her name banned, so they probably have her face now. But anyway, what happens is she's like, "Oh, I'm so good, and I work well with people." Anyway, a 1 hour nail salon appointment ended up taking 3.
Of course it did.
Give me a second. I gotta upgrade my punch fist.
Yeah. Uh. So she ended up giving a fake name. Did they? I'm guessing they banned her again.
I'm pretty sure they banned her again. Yeah, but they didn't reckon it was her because she had a fake name.
Oh
So,
God. Pretty sure that might be illegal.
would not be
'Cause
surprised.
it would technically be trespassing and fraud.
Probably.
You know what my favorite story of something like that was? So, there's this one woman who was
There
in.
we go.
Oh, nice.
Boom. Suck it. Okay, there we go. Die.
There was this one woman who what? Oh, nice.
You can see Kratos clipping backwards.
Yeah.
He's still got
Oh, is
health.
the Sphinx gonna come alive? He's gonna rip off his. Oh. Oh, that's horrifying. I love it.
Time to kill this man's entire torso.
Yeah. So there was this one woman and her husband who were just absolute assholes at this one hotel, to the point where they ended up getting banned. and like a month later they divorced, and she called and was like, "Hey, I'm banned, but guess what? Guess what? I got a divorce, so the name you have me banned under isn't my name anymore. My new name is blank. So I'm gonna make a reservation under my new name." They're like, "Oh, well, thank you for letting us know. We'll update the ban list immediately." And she called to brag,
There was
thinking
a
that she got one over on them.
there's a video. Oh, okay, yeah. So the bright light of Helios is illuminating the underworld. Ooh.
Oh, that's why it's a lot less fleshy.
Yep. What's this?
Oh, whoa, what's this? Is this Eos?
It almost seemed an apparition.
Calliope!
Oh, Calliope. She's a daughter of Atlas.
Oh, she's Kratos' daughter.
Oh, that Calliope. Sorry, I thought he was referring to Calliope. The... Yeah. Oh wait, no, Calliope would be the muse. I'm thinking of Calypso. Calypso is the daughter of Atlas.
Yep, there's Calliope, daughter of Kratos, playing her flute.
I'm gonna guess that's an illusion specifically to fuck with with Kratos.
Maybe.
I mean, we are fighting the Titan of Dreams.
Okay, give me
Oh,
a second.
nice. So what's the what's Karen's mask do?
It does that. It's more powerful once you ramp it up, but like it's not worth it compared to this, which is just better.
Yeah.
Always amp up the AOE attack. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. Crowd control is the name of the game.
There's some people that swear by the lightning of Atlas of
Zeus.
the lightning
Oh.
of Kronos in God of War 2, but like AOE is where it's at. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But also it's very satisfying to get up close and personal.
True. All right, so this is the
Oh,
final major dungeon.
I think you can upgrade your gauntlets again.
Probably. Yeah, I can. Woohoo! Let's do that.
All right. Hell yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna power through the rest of this because we are in the last major dungeon. This
The
is
Temple
like,
of Persephone.
yeah.
So when I grew up, I'm dyslexic and I don't know how to pronounce things. I always thought her name was Persephone.
That is how the Greeks pronounce it.
Really? Not Persephone?
Ferris phone is like one of those popular pronunciations of it, or Persephone. Persephone is how you're supposed to pronounce it, but like Ferris phone, if like you want to be weird.
Yeah.
Domain
I'm
of
gonna...
Persephone, wife of Hades and goddess queen of the underworld.
Yep.
In her youth, Persephone was seized by Hades and carried off to the underworld as his bride. Her mother,
You know,
Demeter, goddess of the earth, refused to let the earth bear fruit until she was returned to her. Zeus consented, but because Persephone had tasted the fruit of Hades, the pomegranate, she was cursed to forever spend part of the year with her husband in the underworld. Thus were born the seasons.
my favorite interpretation of it is the one where Demeter was extremely overbearing, and so Persephone saw Hades as a way to escape her mother.
Persephone, the tragic queen, sorrowfully rules over the dead. Her return to the earth in the spring is marked by the flowering of the meadows. Her return to the underworld in fall sees the dying of plants and the halting of growth.
So this is a very Western take on it.
That's fair. There's a lot of it's a very westernish story at this point.
Yeah, like in the originals, like she fucking rules the underworld far more than Hades does. She's the one that came up with the when Orpheus went uh yeah, Orpheus
Yeah, I know
went
that.
down.
I love
Yeah,
me some
she's the
Hades Town.
one. Yeah, she's the one that was like, you can't just take a soul back up. Look, there's got to be some kind of there's got to be some kind of test to it. So just you
Well,
can take her back. Just don't touch her, talk to her, or look at her.
I think part of the idea,
Trust.
I'm pretty sure that was Hades who said it, and it was Persephone who was like, "Oh, give him a chance, let him try, have a trial." So the trial,
No, no,
I
it was
so
Hades was just gonna let them go, no strings
I'm
attached.
pretty sure Persephone crying at his music is the reason why Hades agreed to even do the trial.
Uh,
Like I am definitely sure. There's a million different interpretations. None can be
yeah,
considered the
there
true
are.
Greek at this point.
Yeah, the interpretation I've always been told is the one that Hades was just was keen to letting him go, and Persephone is the one that came up with the test.
To be fair, you're also the one who thinks that Arachne hung herself, so
She did, and then Athena was like, "No, you can't escape me that easily."
that's one variation. There's like 10 different variations. Okay, seriously, Fireball, get out of my fucking way. The one that I knew is the one in which Athena is so insulted by her continuing to mock the gods that she eventually just resorts to just outright murder and transformation. To be fair, one version is nicer to Athena and the other is much pettier, so it depends on like who your beef is with.
I don't know. They're both pretty petty. Like the version I've been told, uh, Athena turns her into a spider specifically so she can't escape the shame of having challenged a god and lost.
To be fair, she also tried to escape via suicide, which is even shittier in like that kind of culture. So
Yeah, but either way, gods are petty. The Greek gods, especially so. They're so petty that they started an entire war out
with
of their pettiness.
Kratos,
Well, no, I mean the Trojan War.
I mean, yeah, but that was already ready to boil. So that would have
Yeah.
happened even without their pettiness. That was a ticking time bomb.
Well, I think their pettiness is a significant factor considering they uh, kidnapped a married woman in order to give her as a bribe. Uh,
To a
Aphrodite
very
kidnapped.
horny young man.
Yeah,
Not as horny as this satyr I'm murdering, by the way.
yeah. I think that
Die, die, die.
you know, I want to change my answer for which Greek deity I would want to be indebted to.
Okay.
I want to change it from Persephone to Hestia.
You can't choose Hestia. That's unfair because that's kind of obvious, and she would never accept.
All it would mean is that I
That's sort
service
of
for
that's
her
sort of
would
like saying I give my soul to the person who I know won't abuse it. That's literally against
I I
the
would
spirit of the
effectively
game.
yeah, I would effectively become an innkeeper for the rest of my life, which it doesn't seem so bad.
I mean, unless you consider the guy who went crazy and started stretching people to make sure they fit the bed.
Oh yeah, that's shit, what was his name?
He's from Percy Jackson. We can just
I know.
we can just accept that he appeared in Percy Jackson.
I know, but we've mentioned him at least 5 times. At
No,
least
we
me and
haven't.
Biddy have.
You have probably,
Uh,
not me.
he's come up in conversation between me, Biddy, and Chalky at least 5 times. Ah,
What can I say? Beds be comfy.
Procrustes.
That is a terrible name. I want to call
Yeah,
him Bedkeeper Man.
yeah. His alias in Percy Jackson was Krusty.
I prefer Bedkeeper Man. We're sticking with that.
You know what? One of my favorite like urban legends are.
Is it Mothman?
It, No, it was a fit of mass hysteria that happened in, I want to say, Japan. It
Hmm.
is the slit mouth woman. Um, so basically, what happened was people started reporting that they saw a woman with her mouth cut open at the edge of the lips,
Hmm.
like Joker,
Okay.
um, and that the reports ended up being that, oh, I saw her take a baby, oh, she's taking children, and there were like hundreds of reports. It became a phenomenon. There had to be police escorting kids home just to keep them safe. Thing is, she never existed.
Oh, sort of like the drug scare with drugs in Halloween candy.
Well, no, even less than that, because the drugs in Halloween candy. So you know the story behind that, right?
Okay, to be fair, that was an urban legend even before that guy did it. He literally took inspiration from the urban legend.
Okay, that's fair, but so what happened was this guy took out a life insurance policy
Tell me
on
more.
his
Tell me more about the slit-faced woman before we move on to that.
well, the legends were that or the reports were that she shows up and takes kids and then they're never seen again.
So
But
why were they all
it's
made up? Why did enough people believe it that something was done about it when enough
mass hysteria.
over what? Like did
People
it
heard the
become
story.
public or?
Yeah. Well, my guess is that it started out as like is someone like I don't fucking know how this shit starts, but once the media picks up traction, like and like rolls with it, um, once media picks up traction and rolls with it, it becomes like people start getting paranoid about it. It's like the clowns, where the clowns there were only like originally there was like maybe two clown sightings, but the media picked up on it and reported it like a lot,
Oh yes, the
and
murder
then
clowns
people,
of 2016.
yeah, and like people started thinking that they saw the clowns everywhere. Hell, I thought I saw a clown at one point, but I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure I didn't. But it's mass hysteria caused by paranoia, uh, fueled by the media. And with the clowns, it ended up becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy because people saw that, oh, the media is saying that there's a lot of people dressing up as clowns and scaring people. That sounds like a fun idea. I should do that. And then some people died as a result. Uh,
Oh,
because
like somebody would shoot clowns on sight.
Yeah, because they've been taught because the media is reporting about these clowns attacking people, even though originally no one got attacked and it was only like two guys
Hmm.
originally.
I mean that is
But
the U.S.
yeah,
media for you.
yeah, not the U.S. media, the media in general. Like I said, the slit-faced woman was in Japan, and it was pretty much the same thing.
Fair enough.
Only nobody like cut their mouth and started kidnapping kids after seeing it. Uh, Yeah, I learned about it when watching a retrospective on Paranoia Agent,
Hmm.
because Paranoia Agent tackles that kind of thing. Uh, yeah, Paranoia Agent tackles that kind of thing with So in Paranoia Agent, you've seen it, right?
No, never heard of it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I got a
Well,
first time chatter.
oh
Shadow
nice.
NR says hello. Well, hello,
Hello.
Shadow.
Yeah.
Does NR stand for God, I wanted to make a the Hedgehog joke, but I can't figure out a good punchline. I give up.
Yeah. So, Paranoia Agent is kind of an anthology series about all these people who have had encounters with a.
Is it a game? Is it a movie?
No, it's an anime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's made by the same person who did Perfect Blue.
Never heard of that.
Oh my god, you need to watch it. Perfect Blue is more important now than ever.
What's it
So,
about?
Perfect Blue, it's about this pop idol uh, uh, who ends up having difficulty separating her persona with her real self, and it. So it's a pop idol who ends up moving on to doing TV stuff, like TV shows,
Hmm.
and uh, sh- the world has like the world's only ever seen her as the pop idol and has a hard time like recognizing her as the person, and she
Hmm.
has a stalker who has fallen in love with her idol through parasocial, things, and it's more important now than ever, with the way social media has gone. um, People only showing a certain version of themselves,
That's
uh,
fair.
and then other people like becoming obsessed with those versions of themselves and being unable to recognize that that is just a persona. You know, it
That's
has to do
fair.
with, yeah, it has to do with parasocial relationships and character bleed.
Mm.
And it's a psychological thriller.
Okay.
It's a movie, an anime movie.
Okay.
But yeah, Paranoia Agent is also a psychological thriller because it's about it's an anthology series of all these characters uh,
I
going
did
through like
it. I
struggles.
won. I think this is
You
the
know,
final room.
I won. uh, all these characters going through different struggles, and then in the end encountering this person known as Lil Slugger, which is a kid in roller skates with a bent baseball bat, who goes around and just hits people in the head with the baseball bat. Um, and the media picks up on it, and one of the
Isn't that the
people,
premise of Off,
I don't know, I haven't seen Off.
the video game? And also, I never actually played Off either. I just know that one of the famous characters in
Oh,
that is
there's a
like
wall.
the baseballer or something.
Yeah. Well, Paranoia Agent is uh the the longer it goes on, the more like monstrous and demonic Lil Slugger becomes.
Hmm.
Um and it has to do with like how media treats things, like how media will take a story and run with it. Uh and also
Oh, bitch.
unhealthy cope. Oh, that's rough. Is that the first death we've had?
I think so.
Oof.
That was really cheap. Like they just sort of just suck you into that one.
Oh, now we gotta go back here.
No, this is literally the same room. It's fine.
Oh, I thought this was the room before.
The room of.
Okay, that's good. But yeah, Paranoia Agent is a really good.
Yeah, that is way too slow of rock breaking animation considering all those really fast enemies.
Try using the Karen thing. Can you level it up?
Oh yeah, I can do that. Runs around. Karen's anger.
Oh, I think you can level it up again.
You see, it's all about the anger of Karen. I know what you did, and I'm sick of being paralyzed by your stare. I will not live in fear in America. This is my country.
You can't tell me to look away. This is a free country.